Hello, 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 hello. All right, let's get this live going. I'm a late getting to you guys. I'm in the middle of a detail, so what's going on, everyone? Hope you tuning in. I'm gonna give the people on Instagram a little while to tune in. Um, I've been saying that I was gonna do this live for the inauguration for the last couple of days, and now I have a small window in my schedule to talk about it. I mean, it's very small too. So hope you guys join in. See what they're doing on Instagram. If you guys are here, you're working security for the inauguration. If you have a principal here and you're going to be doing some executive transportation or you're going to be doing some, okay, Instagram, I see you guys checking in. If you're going to be moving with the principal or you are attending an event here, I'm going to try to give you guys in a nutshell how to navigate through the inauguration. Okay, so give a little bit more time for people to join on. And if you have any questions, please ask them. Do not be afraid to ask. I will copy this over here, the invite link, if you guys want to join in with your questions. I know I've been getting a lot of text messages, DMs from guys who I follow and who follow me on Instagram and some of the other platforms. I've been getting a lot of messages from you guys about how to navigate through this inauguration. So let's jump into it. Let's jump into it. And we're going to talk about there are a host of events going on for the next couple of days and have been going on for the last couple of days. Bungie says, ask, 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 ask. Bungie Adams, one of my favorite people. See if I can get this mic. Oh, hello. Sound effect. Trying to get this microphone right so that I can get the best audio on this thing. All right, so I have a movement shortly, so let's talk about this. So if you're coming to the inauguration, if you're already here, this is one of the most unique things that, what's up, Mark? Good to see you, my friend. This is one of the most unique things or security details that you will ever do. There are a lot of moving components here. There are a lot of law enforcement agencies. All the alphabet agencies are here, including FBI, CIA, Secret Service, State Department, you name it. This town is a federal city. We have organizations all over the place. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm probably gonna have to jump off. They're just texting me. I need to run down and check on something real quick. But if you guys can, if you want me to jump off and come right back on, I will. I hope everyone is hearing this. I'll probably just stay on and try to just what they say, thug it out so you all can hear the information and then jump off. They just have to wait for me. Okay, so here it is. So there are a lot of organizations here that you're going to be dealing with, but there are a plethora of executive security companies or standard security guard companies holding posts for some of these events at a lot of the venues, and we also have a lot of executive protection people, some from all over the world who have come here. So I know a lot of you guys have come in. Airspace has been restricted here. So normally people would fly into Dulles or Ronald Reagan, but because of the restricted airspace, a lot of you guys are coming in from Baltimore, the Signature or Atlantic out in Baltimore or Manassas Regional. So I know getting into the city may have been a little bit of challenging for you, and trying to navigate it may have been challenging. I would go into, my experience with the inauguration. I understand that some people had some questions about my experience, but let me just tell you, this is not my first rodeo. As a law enforcement officer, I stood on post on Constitution in Pennsylvania Avenue as a patrol officer when we had these inaugurations. But I moved up through the ranks really fast. So I retired as a captain. I was the assistant commander of a district. I had over 450 police officers, sergeants, lieutenants working underneath of my command. I've handled countless protests, the IMF World Protest details. I'm gonna have one. We're gonna come back and talk about that later on. 5 inaugurations, and the last 2021 inauguration, my company MVP Protective Services was contracted to handle all of the guard work from the Capitol building to the monument. So we had about 250 security security personnel, security staff for like something like 2 weeks straight. So doing that, we had to deal with a lot of different agencies, all of those agents that we spoke about, and also the National Guard. So I have a lot of experience in doing this, but also working as the policeman, knowing how to navigate these streets and experience of getting VIPs in and out of these inaugural events for the last 30 years. So if that answers any of you guys' questions, or whoever had the questions, you can post it in the comment section. Don't be afraid. All right. So you guys don't have to talk about, you can just ask me directly if you have any questions. All right. So first things first, if you're coming to the inauguration, there are several events going on. There are several events going on here. Today, we have events at the Capital One Arena and a couple of other locales throughout the secured zone. So I'm gonna pull up the secured zone. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys and show you the secured zone. If you have if you saw the previous live that we talked about, or you had questions, I sent you this already. So I'm gonna share this with you so that you can know what this stuff is all about. So some of the questions was, can they drive their principals to some of the events? So we'll just start right here. Okay. All right. This is the map. I'm not sure how much how much of this you can see. I'll make it bigger on my side. All right. So I'm not sure how much you can see. But down here to the right, where this box is, can you guys see that? If you can, just say raise your hand. If there's a button to raise your hand in there, and so that I can see that you see it, right? So over here, this is the map. This is the secured area. All of these streets are closed to all vehicular traffic. You will not be able to get into any of those streets, the red, yellow, none of that. And so this has a map, and I'll share the link to this also in the chat. So if you haven't seen it, you can click on yourself. All right. Over here to the left, all of this stuff is over the White House. And let's see if I can move this up. I have to go out for a second. Exit screen. Okay. All of this stuff over here, this is over here towards the White House. To the left of my screen, you guys see me doing this, and I can increase it so I can see. My eyes are getting older these days. All right. So Pennsylvania Avenue, 16th Street, 14th, 15th Street. This is where the White House is. This is where the Washington Monument, if you can see that. All right, up here is where the White House is. Now, this is Constitution Avenue. If you guys can see my cursor, I'm just moving straight down Constitution Avenue. From Constitution Avenue to the Capitol building, which is here, that is a straight shot. The other streets that run parallel to it is Pennsylvania Avenue. All right, so all of these things, you can't get to any of these places in the vehicle. I don't care if you have a placard, you have an official placard from the 60th inaugural committee, the security director there. You may be able to get through some of these points, but they would have to be an extreme VIP guest. And I'm very, I'm not saying that none of you guys have them, but my guests aren't even that extreme. So in order to get to any of these places, you're going to need to come to the border and find one of these check-in points right here. Here on the K Street, if you're on the northwest side of 15th Street, 12th Street, correct? This is 12th and K right here. This is an entry point for people to come in. Also on this side, but you notice that these streets are K Street is open. K Street is open, and then that's the barrier. So the only way to get into any of this area, especially down here, excuse me, especially down here where the Capitol is. This is where everything is going down right here. This is the U.S. Capitol. The only way to get in from any of the streets here are from the north. So if you were coming in, the only highway that you can get into the north from is over here on the east, and you can't see that, but I'll share a map with you. That would be 395, 295. South Capitol Street may be open, but you get off of Suit, you can get on to New York Avenue, South Capitol Street. You can get onto all of those streets from Interstate 295. So that is way over here, and it's not even on the map. But that is the way you come in. Let me get this out of here. That is the way that you come into the city. All right. And if again, the Capitol is over here, so your checkpoints here are going to be somewhere here. If you want to get into the Capitol, this is North Capitol Street here. The drop point for you guys are probably going to be, North Capitol Street, and I believe I have that here. It's my map, my trusty map here. Okay. All right, so Constitution Avenue, here we are. So if you want to come into this area, I would highly recommend getting on 295 north or south, depending on where you're coming from. If you're not staying in the city, you're going to be coming from 295. You're going to catch Benning Road, and you can take Benning Road. I would kind of stay off of Maryland Avenue. I would take Benning Road and get off the Benning Road, and then come down to you could be on Maryland Avenue. You would be fine. Come down to Maryland Avenue, but ultimately where you're trying to get to is right here at 2nd Street. Right here at 2nd Street. If you have passes, because all of this stuff, if you're going to the Capitol building. Now, I have to say that they have closed this. If you guys don't know, they have closed the inauguration. So they're only allowing 600 people to get into the inaugural event, and you would have to have certain credentials, right? So if you were coming in again, going back to, wait a minute, guys. I don't think I shared the screen with you. Oh man. I think I was doing a lot of talking and you guys wasn't seeing the map. All right, so oh man. All right, so I don't think you guys were seeing the map, but nonetheless, I'll go back to the map that you can see, and those are the drop points. So if you're coming in and you're going to any of the events and you need to go, so say to the Capital One Arena, if you're going to that event here, you want to have a drop point around here. It's the Capital One Arena. It's here at 5th and G, where you can see me moving this cursor around. That's where the Capital One Arena. So you want to drop somewhere here, because you will not be able to get through any of the red, yellow, or purple. Those are really restricted. So if the street that has no color on it, you want to take New York Avenue, drop down here somewhere near 5th and Mass Avenue, and you can walk to the Capital One Arena within a couple of blocks. Okay. Now, if you're going to the Waldorf Astoria, if you have clients or down there, that is 11th and Constitution. So you're going to your drop will be up here for your client, because as you can see, as far as over you can go, there are no vehicle entries here, right? There are no vehicle entries, and this is all the way over to 15th Street. But the Waldorf Astoria is down here at between 11th and 12th on, Pennsylvania, not Constitution. So 11th and 12th on Pennsylvania is where you're going to need to get into the Waldorf Astoria. So your drop point will be up here near 12th and K Street. All right. So again, if you can see this arrow, you're going to come down, you're going to drop here somewhere up here. There's going to be a heavy law enforcement and military presence. You're going to drop off up here somewhere, enter one of the checkpoints, and then you're going to have to walk down. So a lot of you guys, I'm going to tell you now, if you're law enforcement, non-law enforcement, have a concealed carry, don't have a secure concealed carry, do not bring, and you're working a private security detail. You're not on official duty. You're not with any state agency or government that has an official congressman, senator, something like that. If you're not on official duty, you are not authorized to carry firearms in this area. So you want to leave your firearms in your vehicles if you have them on you. I prefer that you're not. And then you want to walk through one of the checkpoints. Now, I do want to say this. You guys do not want to, this is not a time to be flashing badges and credentials trying to get through checkpoints. Trust me, there are thousands of people or hundreds of security professionals who have already come here and done that before you. Some of them are sitting in the jail cell right now today if they tried to come through, and this is security professionals. Law enforcement, they may give you a little bit of professional courtesy and allow you to go back and put the firearm in the vehicle. But there are security professionals that will get arrested this weekend trying to enter through checkpoints with firearms. So I'm trying to tell you now, give you a fair warning. Do not do that. Do not flash a badge telling people what agency or credential what agency or whatever you're with, trying to get some, what you call it? I forgot what you call it. Hospitality, professional hospitality. I think that's what we called it. It's not going to work. All right. It's going to end up on a bad day for you. So since we're talking about that, let's just talk about what some of the prohibited items are in here. So things that you can bring and don't bring. And if you have any questions, and I missed something, I am going really fast because I actually have to. We're launching out on our detail in a few minutes here, so I may skip over some stuff, but you guys and girls can still come back and learn a lot from these videos by watching it later. All right, so here's some of the items they say that you cannot bring into this area, and let me just go here. That is okay. Here we go. All right, so here's again what I was talking about earlier. No firearms. There are no flammable liquids, no glass, thermal, or metal containers, laser pointers, pepper spray, mace, packages, knives, rangefinders, recreational motorized mobility devices. I'm guessing that's those scooters and stuff like that. Selfie sticks, you can't bring that in here. Signs exceeding size restrictions 20 by 3 by 1/4, structures, supports for signs and placards, toy guns, weapons of any kind, or any other item determined to be potentially safe. So one of the questions I was asked was, could they walk? Couldn't you have body armor? I don't think it will be a problem. However, it could be a problem. And the last thing you want to do is, and you're what the principal is, inconvenience that principal when they're meeting the standards to go through a checkpoint and you're not. Because if they say you stop here, you can no longer go any further, then you have to stop there and no longer can go any further, and then your client, your principal, is without security protection. All right. So so that's that. I'm gonna check off of that real quick. You guys have any questions, let me know. Somebody asked me how many people are attending for the actual inauguration. Only 600 people are attending. Only 600 people are going to be allowed in the rotunda in the Capitol building. And I'll go back to that. It's just in case some of you guys have questions about the drop point. I'm going to show you the map. I'm going to show you how the inauguration is traditionally done, how it's set up. You have orange area, blue ticket holders, red ticket holders, I think green ticket holders. So it's like 4 or 5 different colors, and each ticket holder has a section to come in. But again, the parade has been canceled. We're expecting snow and inclement weather. I believe that I saw we were going to be at 1 degrees on inauguration day, but I know for sure that we're going to be around 20 degrees. So everything has been moved inside, very limited, and very few people will be outside. Will be allowed in, and then everybody else will go to one of the viewing areas, and the main one now is the Capital One Arena. Okay. Mark says ask questions. All right. There'll be thousands in the Capital One Arena. So, I'll be there. And for you guys who and girls who I've been talking to, who've already indicated that you will be there, I can't wait to see you. And if you have any questions or troubles when you get there, just hit me up. If I can be of any help, I will. All right. So we talked about that. Show you the maps again. But before I show you the maps, I want to show you the color coded area. So let me show you that. All right. So, as I said, traditionally, if the inauguration was outside, this is what we would be looking at. So you see here, you have the blue ticketed areas over here. So your drop points, we will have to go back to the map. Your back drop points would be closer to here, but over here, this is the west side of the northwest side of the Capitol over here, northwest side of the Capitol. This is again, it says that there, northwest standing. And let me make sure this is showing. Okay. Over here is the southwest side of the standing. So in order to get to the northwest side, that's where you will be coming in off Pennsylvania Avenue, off 295, if possible. If not, the next route up is Benning Road, and you're going to take Benning Road down to Maryland Avenue, almost straight to the Capitol until you start seeing the barriers. What I would say is take one of the number streets, make a left on one of the number streets and get closest to 2nd and Pennsylvania Avenue as possible. That'll be your drop point. If you have tickets, and you're one of the 600 people who are actually know that you're getting in. So you want to take that way. And that would go for the same as the orange to South parking. All of those entries are going to come from that way. All right. South Capitol Street is viable, but at some point, I think around D Street, it's going to be closed. So if you don't know how to navigate the back streets over there off of M Street, it's going to be pointless. So the best way to get in is Pennsylvania Avenue to Pennsylvania Avenue. If Pennsylvania Avenue is open, get as close to 2nd Street as possible. If you're coming from 295 and you're coming down Benning Road, you're going to want to take Benning Road to Maryland Avenue, and the same thing. Get to one of the number streets. Hopefully, you can get as close to 2nd Street. Make a left on 2nd Street, go down to Pennsylvania Avenue, and drop right there. So that'll get you into the South Standing. That'll get you into the green and orange tickets. On the Northwest Standing, let me just check out the map there. All right, so. Yeah, the Northwest Standing would be coming in from Benning Road to Maryland Avenue. Same thing. But instead of making a left on one of the number streets, you're gonna want to get up to, I would say the best thing to do is to get to North Capitol and H Street. So right. So Benning Road and versus getting on Maryland Avenue, scrap that. Take Benning Road straight down to H Street, follow H Street to North Capitol Street, make a left on North Capitol Street, take it down as far as you can go. As far as you can go. That will put you very, very close to the Northwest Standing. All right. And you'll be able to see the Capitol. And also to your left is if you get close enough to I think it's 2nd and C Street, 2nd and D Street, you'll be able to look to the left also and see Union Station, and that is where I believe the Starlight Dinner will be held on Monday night, the night of the inauguration. So if you're getting there, you're going to need to get to North Capitol and H Street. All right, I hope you guys saw that. Let's remove that. If you have any questions, again, ask the questions. If you're on Instagram and you're watching, I thought I posted a link, but I am on YouTube as well. So you could jump over here on YouTube. Okay, you can jump on YouTube and watch this and ask questions there too, because it looks like the screen froze up on Instagram. All right, we talked about the streets. if you're going to an event and you don't know how to get there, or, and I missed it, just let me know. Event, a venue, a hotel. I know the city like the back of my hand. All right. So the next thing I want to share with you, you guys who are executive protection people, right? Your executive protection people, we all know that walking around with people standing in front, beside, or behind someone is just a small portion of what we do. What our biggest challenges, or our big our biggest challenges in this profession comes in planning, and that's also our biggest assets, right? Planning, 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 planning. One of the first things you should have known when you came here was, if the spit hit the fan and somebody is injured, where do we go? Okay, where do I take my principal? What hospitals? Okay, we have two critical care hospitals, level one trauma centers here, right? And they're both MedStar, and they're both state of the art. They both had the best doctors. Back in 2021, was it 2021, 20, Gunner and I was building the gun range on our land. I set some trees on fire. I had third-degree burns from my fingertips all the way to my eyebrows. I was taken there and I was treated. They have a burn center there. Fantastic. So this is, in DC, one of the best hospitals that you can be into. Now, I mean, that you can go to for medical issues. They also have a helipad there. So if we need the critical care, one of your team members or your principal, you can be airlifted there. So make sure that you have this in your GPS. And speaking of GPS, a lot of that stuff won't work. Waze and all that stuff is not going to. It won't work because all of the street closures. So don't just rely on that. Use multiple GPSs, but definitely put this one inside this hospital, this particular hospital, in your maps. Already have it pre-programmed just in case you have to DDM out when you had to get out of here. Now, what I am seeing is that a lot of people don't have trained drivers. They just have a local car service. You EP guys have to. These guys don't know the things that you know, but so you have to share this information with your drivers and your expectations of them, and you also want them to program these hospitals into their GPS already, because you may be the one that need the critical care, and if they don't know how to get there, it's going to be a major problem. So this one, and this applies if you're on anywhere from the Capitol, this particular hospital, if you're on the Capitol all the way over to, I would say, 6th Street, the Convention Center. You're gonna just really, the easiest way to get here is to get on North Capitol Street, head north with the gas pedal to the floor. Now, if you're injured or somebody's hurt and they need critical care, and you're 12th and K Street, 11th Street, Georgetown. Anyway, the best place to go, the next would be the next hospital. We do have GW Hospital, which is practically beside the White House, but that's pretty much going to be reserved for high-level VIPs, politicians, the people who are working in the government. So that hospital, if you had that on as your level one trauma center, scratch it off. The next place you're going to go is to MedStar Georgetown University. It is also a level one trauma center. The address is 3800 Reservoir Road. Put this in your map the same way you did with the other MedStar hospital. Make sure your drivers have it. If you have downtime during your detail, and you can get to your vehicle, because if you're if your vehicles are inside of the zone, I think some of you guys are finding out that you won't be able to get out until Tuesday or late Monday evening. So we have our vehicles staged outside of the perimeter. But if you're outside, again, if you're outside of outside of 12th and K, the 12th and K street side of the town, this will be your hospital, MedStar University Hospital, Georgetown. You want to get you want to plug that into your to your GPS, your Waze is which I prefer, or Google Maps or whatever you prefer. Okay, so jot that down, and let's count that as another item that we talked about. Let's see, hospitals out. Okay. Um, Honestly, I think that is pretty much it. If you're going to go into an event, and knowing that you don't have transportation, if you don't have transportation, and you're walking to the events, a lot of events that we're attending, we're walking to, and we're in the red zone. So again, our vehicles are really for getting outside of here, going to medical emergencies or something else that the principals may want to do outside of this. But also knowing if you're going to travel across the city, the number streets run north and south. So First Street, Second Street, Third Street, Fourth Street, 11th Street, 12th, those are north and south streets, right? The letter streets, B Street, C Street, D Street, H Street, G Street, all of those run east and west. So to get east on east of the city, you just get on a letter street and go east. Now, what you will find is as you go, the further you go east, the lower the numbers get. So, and then our city is broken up into quadrants. North Capitol Street is the dividing quadrant, right, for the north and the northeast side of the town and the northwest side of the town. South Capitol divides the southeast side of the town and the southwest side of the town. But all of you guys, you won't be able to get anywhere from Virginia. I didn't say that. You won't be, I didn't tell you guys that. If you're in Virginia, you're staying in Virginia, almost impossible to get into this city without going around. So the 3rd Street tunnel may be open. The 12th Street tunnel is not open. The Rock Creek Parkway, you can't get on any of that. All of that stuff around a tidal basin is closed. So if you're on the south side of town, you're even in Virginia, you're going to have to go all the way out, past the airport, almost to Mount Vernon, jump back on 95 South to get on 295 South to get to the south side of the city, and that's the south side of the Capitol. The south side of the Capitol, Pennsylvania Avenue, and Benning Road, New York Avenue. All right. So I hope those direction things help. If you didn't get it, just go back and watch this video a couple of times, and also make sure that you're sharing it with other people who may be working here, and it would also help your families, people who are trying to navigate through the city during this time as well. Instagram, any questions? Instagram, no questions. Tickets. If you plan to attend any of these events as security, you need tickets. If you don't have tickets, you more than likely will be walking your client to the event that they're going into. You're going to be dropping them off there, and there are no vehicles. There are no vehicles inside the perimeter. So honestly, I don't know what you're going to be doing. Most people are going to be walking back to their hotels, and kind of camping out until they get a phone call to walk back to get their principals. So if you can get tickets, if it's a ticketed event, ask your principal now. And if you haven't, ask them, do they have tickets? Ask them also, do they have extra tickets, and do they have a ticket for you? And if not, some of these events still have capacity, so you can request a ticket and get a ticket to attend the event. To attend the event. All right. And again, a lot of you guys have expressed or shared with me, which events you will be attending. I will be attending a lot of these events. You should see me, but again, this is a big town, and it's possible that we won't see each other. So if you're in the house at one of the events that we discussed, just shoot me a text message, say I'm here at such and such location. I'll try to get over and see you, or give you my location so you can get over and see me. All right. I think I covered enough stuff. Any questions? Any questions at all? Please ask. I'd like to know if you can text me the access map so I can send my people for the event. Yes. Also, ordinarily in these red zones, so you have to have, if you're here locally, you're here locally in Washington D.C. and you're a security company providing event security, um, they would normally want you to. They should give you some type of credentials that you show to the security, law enforcement, security, and National Guard at these checkpoints as you come through. Okay. Instagram, and I, for whatever reason, my Instagram screen is stuck. So I'm gonna try to jump on it on my phone so I can answer your questions if I can see my own live. I don't even know if that's possible. Not be able to do it. Um, I'll tell you what, I don't even know how to do this, to be honest with you. If I refresh the screen on Instagram, I may lose you, but I'm gonna do it anyway. If you're here, okay, I think I lost it. Oh, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I'm back on. Okay. If you're here, if you're here in the city, I saw it was some questions, but my screen was locked up. If you guys are here, um, I'm really not understanding this. Okay, all right. If you're here, here in the city and you need information, do this. Um, Send me a DM with your phone number. Send me a DM with your phone number, and we'll what I'll do is I'll create a security group in WhatsApp. So that way, just my WhatsApp number is not all over the place. I'll send it to you personally. I'll send it to you personally. You guys want to join the WhatsApp group for security professionals for the inauguration? I will be on there and I will give you all the information that I have. No problem, John. All right. Anybody else? IG is still going. Okay. Okay. Wayne Walker, he's here with me on the detail right now. So I've seen a lot of heavy hitters out here. Some of my former students are out here kicking butt. They're on details. A lot of my former students, some of them are with other people, other companies. And quite a few of them are with me, and we'll be hustling like this until actually the 25th. We got clients here going on until the 25th of the month, and then I go back to New York and do what I do there, and next month the cycle repeats. So again, thank you guys for watching. I hope I crammed that in. I hope I crammed all the information in. I don't see any questions. I hate that I had to do it that way. I would like to bring on special guests. I like to bring on my followers and watchers, so that you can put your questions out there and everybody else can see you, see your lovely face. And I'm gonna say this: if you are in executive protection or you're interested in executive protection, make sure you go down to www.trustingmvp.com. Check out my website. Check out the executive protection classes. It's the fastest growing executive protection school in the world. 30 years of experience, not only internationally, but right here in this city, Washington, D.C., working at this level with the level of clients that we work with. I've been doing this for 30 years. That's my experience. And I got about 3 more years in the game, and I'm trying to pass the game on to you all who are trying to learn it. So because you're the future, right? And you're the future of this industry. I can't do this forever. Neither do I want to, but I can tell you this: I've only got this far in my career with my business. That I started with an ironing board, a laptop, and $250. I got this far in my career by believing in myself and investing in myself. And here I am, 20 years as a private security business owner, doing things that at a level that I never imagined. So I tell you guys, invest in yourself. Check out the website, check out the classes. Don't procrastinate. Click the button, join the class, join the group, the hundreds of people who come through MVP protection class who are now doing this all over the world and are happy that they took the risk. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you guys watching. I'm jumping off. I got to go to work. Peace. I'm out.